Hi, pretty black girl. So, the title of this video is The Body Positivity Movement and How It Went Too Far. Disclaimer, this video is by no means meant to harm anyone or make anyone feel bad about themselves, how they view themselves, or how they feel about their bodies. This video is really just for me to express my thoughts and opinions on this topic. At the end of the day, I am a free person, a free human, and in the country where I live, it is absolutely allowed to have freedom of speech, and that is what I'm exactly doing right now. I have the right to express my opinions on topics, and if you are offended by it, sorry, not sorry, but I just want to express my thoughts and opinions. And I have to shout out to my dear subscriber, Melody. And she requested me to speak about this topic. And I think this is such a great idea. And I really just want to express my thoughts and opinions as requested. At the end of the day, I think me and my subscribers, it's kind of like a teamwork in a way. You guys give me ideas at times, and I can express my thoughts and opinions, and we can engage in that as well. At the end of the day, my subscribers are the reason why I have this platform and why I'm able to speak about it in such a way, because you guys support me and you guys like my videos and subscribe as well, which I'm really incredibly grateful for. But then again, you also give me inspiration and ideas, and I use that because I think you guys have such cool ideas and I am inspired by them and I'm grateful. But let's just start with the video. My first thought about the body positivity movement is I don't believe in the body positivity movement. That's that. Point blank, period. I just don't believe in it. I don't think everybody is beautiful. And I know that is a very controversial statement to make. But then again, as I've mentioned, I am allowed to have my opinions and I am allowed to express my opinions as I desire. And there's nothing you can really change about that, because at the end of the day, they're still going to be my opinions, even though you think you might disagree, that's fine, but they're still my opinions. But I just don't think everyone has a beautiful body. I don't see everyone's body as beautiful. Yes, everyone should have the right to have the body that they want, but that doesn't make it, you know, doesn't make me think that their bodies are beautiful. Because I think not everybody is aesthetically pleasing. And what I mean by not everybody is not everybody as in the literal term bodies. um, Not everybody has a aesthetically pleasing figure, and that should be, I think, of course, everyone is different, and not, you don't think everything is beautiful, right? So why is that not the same case when it comes to people's physiques? Why do we necessarily have to accept everyone's physique and how it looks like? We should be allowed to think, oh, I don't think your physique is beautiful, and that's the reason why I don't want to mate with you, for example, or date you, and etc. But that's, you know, a different section of the topic. Let's stick to the basics of this whole body positivity movement. I will have to say that I do think everyone should treat people with respect. We shouldn't treat people badly because of their weight. That's something that I personally don't agree with. I heavily disagree with the, treating people with disrespect just because you think that their body does not, have the requirements of what you think or deem to be beautiful. I just don't agree with it. I think everyone should be treated with respect. But let's be honest, eating whatever you want and then making a movement out of it is never going to be a solution, especially in a society where we place looks on a high pedestal, as we know, but also being fit is definitely a standard of beauty in most societies. That's just the truth there. There's nothing you can really change about that. The truth is that people deem bodies that are fit to be attractive, and that goes a lot into hand with the fact that we think that a healthy looking body is generally a body that looks fit. So there's also a biology behind it. It's not just, oh, we are being selfish or being mean people by thinking that people that are, for example, obese or fat or just really extremely overweight, or to the point where you can tell, you can tell. You have people that are overweight, or you're like, oh, I did not know you were overweight. That's fine, right? Even then, it can be somewhat not healthy as well, but as long as you can't tell, right? That's what Matt. No, I know. I'm just kidding, but it is important to take care of your body and nourish your body the way you should. I'm also going to talk about that in a second, but I just think that, for example, how do you want people to accept you when you don't accept yourself? Because I think people that are making these movements, body positivity movements, they don't really actually accept themselves, because how does it take outside validation for you to feel comfortable in your own being? That's a question that you should be asking yourself, because when you start to seek for validation outside, then you really are not validating yourself anyway. I don't think you are actually validating. You validate yourself when you start to seek from outside validation. And of course, let's be clear, outside validation helps us in so many ways. Of course, when I get compliments like, oh, you're so smart, oh, you're so beautiful, those things touch me. Of course, we're human, we need connections, we need interactions. But when we're talking about the body positivity movement, these are people that are not generally content with themselves. Let's just be honest about that. These people are not happy with the way they look like. They generally aren't, because I've seen enough people, enough videos where people are complaining about their weight. And I've seen enough people in real life that are not happy with, content with the way they look like. They're not happy with their body weight. So it's not just I just want people to accept me. You don't even accept yourself. So let's start to digress that part first before we ask, for people to accept us from the outside. We first need to accept ourselves. That's the most important thing. So the truth is, our society loves fit people, and there's nothing you can really change about that. There's nothing you can change about the basic human, I guess, standard. I think that's really a human standard for people to want healthy looking people, because then again we can, procreate. We all know the whole reasonings behind why we want healthy looking people, healthy looking partners. That's really, it's procreation. There's a biology behind it, there's a science behind it. And when we look at, for example, models, footballers, commercials, advertising, what I want you to just think is, what do you see? What's the first thing when you look at those people? What is the dominant thing that is being showed to us? As people that are fit, right? They look fit, they have a really nice physique. Those are the things that they tend to portray to us, and they want us to accept those things. And when we start to see these things, it's when we start to normalize them. So once you start seeing something very often, you start to normalize it, and it's become this norm for you. So that's what has happened to our society throughout centuries. And now we accept, and it's a norm, it's a standard that we have accepted. Multiple societies have come together and said, okay, now we think that these body types are what we accept, fit body types, generally speaking. And that's just, there's nothing you can do about that. If society has accepted something, you can go ahead and be against it and rebel against it, but at the end of the day, the average person still thinks that a fit body is more attractive than an overweight or obese body type. Be honest to yourself. If you go around to ask these questions to your family members, or you go on the street, there is a consensus, and that is that we find bodies that are fit and healthy looking to be attractive. I also really think that eating healthy is very important, at least in moderation. And I know there are going to be people start talking about how expensive healthy food is. And I'm not going to disagree with that fact that healthy food is quite expensive and that it's pricey, especially as someone that eats mainly healthy foods. I actually don't eat any processed foods. I eat mainly healthy foods. Yes, I have a strict diet because I want a desired body, but I'm going to get into that very soon. But at least if you know that healthy food is expensive, you might as well just eat in moderation, even if it's processed foods. And I'm also going to talk about processed foods in a second as well. But eating healthy is expensive, yes. But the truth is, at the end of the day, it's a choice, and I personally choose to eat strictly to have my desired body type because I know that I'm going to feel good about myself. And when I look at myself in the mirror, it's something that I like and I am content with it and I feel happy. And I know the outside appearance is not the most important thing, as I've mentioned several times on this channel, but it will make you feel some type of way about how you even feel internally about yourself if you don't have the desired physique. These things go hand in hand. People try to ignore the fact that our physiques are important. I mean, some people, most people kind of get the basic math that our physiques are important because they actually do say a lot about the insides as well. And I watched this video of Blonde Girly about fat people having a bad personality. And she also mentioned that the insides, about the insides aspect and how it also reflects on the outside. And I think she really made a valid point. You guys go watch Blunt Girly. She's an awesome YouTuber. But I just think that if you have money to buy 5 boxes of pizza, you can buy avocados and apples and salads. Like, be honest to yourself. You absolutely can. And I'm not talking about people that really have a very extremely low income where the only source of food they can get are processed foods, because we all know that processed foods are generally more cheaper. But if we're talking about these obese people, I've worked in a supermarket, and when I tell you that these people, the 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 grocery bill is high. It really is very much high when you start buying all these chips, boxes of pizzas. The grocery bills do get high at the end of the day, so it kind of is comparable to the healthy foods. And I may even argue that healthy foods are can be cheaper than actually processed foods, because the thing is with processed foods, these people are not just buying 1 box of pizza, they're buying five. They're not just buying 1 bag of chips, they're buying five. They're not just buying one Coke bottle, they're buying five. So you don't even have a moderation when it comes to these ultra processed foods. And then again, the bills go up. So, as I've mentioned, if you can buy 5 boxes of pizza, isn't it better to opt for avocados or paprikas? I think that's peppers in English. But opting for salads and opting for healthier foods, chicken, opt for better options, because at the end of the day, your body is really your temple. And also, what I wanted to mention is that the food industry was never made in our favor. That's just a fact out there. They make these processed foods so that you are addicted. They purposefully make those foods addicting and add all these really bad chemicals, sodium, you name it, all those really complicated names you see on the list at the packaging of the food. It's really for you to get addicted to it, and they are doing a really great job at it. So I think don't be greedy with to share your food, but instead be greedy with your money, with your pocket, because these food companies that are being unthoughtful about your health, they really are making bag out of your addiction. And I know it takes a lot of control and a lot of discipline to realize that that is really what they're doing, but you have to take a step back and think about your health. on the long run, because on the short run it feels good to eat that bag of chips, to eat that pizza, to eat those cookies, to eat the burgers. It feels really good. But on the longer process, it really isn't that healthy for your body. And you also won't really feel as good. I noticed that when I used to eat, for example, it's not like I would eat it in excess, but I would eat, bag of chips with biscuits on the side. And this was when I was younger, and with fries and chicken. And I would just feel really sick afterwards. And I would eat candies and excess. I really loved candies. I had a really sweet tooth, but I would feel really bad. Like I would actually start to, I know this is a bit TMI, but start to throw up because my body just really didn't like those foods. And especially growing up in a household where we always made home cooked meals, my body just couldn't tolerate all of that. And I just really advocate for you to treat your body with respect and nourish it with the foods that it really needs. And then you'll really notice how full and a healthy meal can make you feel, how full eating avocado toast can make you feel, or a smoothie with bananas and spinach, or rice with kimchi, how those foods can actually really make you feel full, and satisfied for a whole day, and you are not having these cravings and for unhealthy foods, processed foods that are not even good for you. Because what it is with these processed foods, I did a little bit of research, is that they make you have more cravings because there's not actual nutrition, nutritional value in the foods. It makes you to crave for more because your body's like, wait, hold on, we don't have the nutrition we need. So we need more of that. Add a little bit more because this ain't enough. This ain't enough. So your foods start to crave for actual nutrition because those processed foods do not give you the nutrition that you actually need on a day to day basis to survive. And then on the long run, we all know what happens. You get overweight, you obesity also happens, and it's just not healthy for you on the long run. It feels good, it's very satisfactory, and I know here and there you can indulge, of course, in unhealthy foods, processed foods, but I personally just choose not to be honest. Well, of course, I just try to make, my own unhealthy version of foods, which is still healthy. But for example, having bananas with nuts, well, that's just healthy foods. That's not really an unhealthy version. But I personally just like to keep it healthy. And I don't know, maybe like Nutella with some rice, waffles, I guess, and with chia seeds. That's still, I guess, healthy, but it's slightly less healthy than fruits and vegetables, for example. But I just, I believe, I really do believe that the body positivity movement has gone too far, because the fact that we don't even discuss the nutritional aspect of it, but just accepting the person that we see, to me, that says enough. We're not even thinking about the foods that we actually digest into our bodies, but the first thing we think about is just someone's appearance, which, I mean, humans are visual beings, we know that. But we're not even discussing about the nutritional values that are important. We're not talking about this. We just need to accept what we see. Why do we need to accept what we see right away? We shouldn't. We should start to actually think about these things into more detail, because it's bigger than what we think it is. It's not just a body positivity movement, but it's the fact that we have to accept people that are, I guess, overweight and obese, and we should just accept them like that, and we shouldn't say anything or advocate for change. Why should that be a standard of norm? Why should that be acceptable? Why shouldn't we have our own opinions when it comes to this and say, no, wait, why are we doing this? Why are we not advocating for people to start eating healthy and to actually put healthy foods in their bodies? Why are we doing this? I think that is actually the problem when it comes to the body positivity movement. And of course, we should be treating people with respect. That's there's no argument there. We shouldn't be treating people badly just because of their body weight. And I know some people might say, yes, treat them badly so they know how to that they feel bad. But no, I think people should be treated with respect. But what we shouldn't do is accept some things in society. We should stand up and raise our voices. Well, that sounds so weird, but we should be able to express our opinions without there being such negative feedback, because there is a lot of negative feedback when people express their opinions and say that we shouldn't accept this behavior. And I just think that that is very unlogical. That's my personal opinion. But the truth is, humans are visual beings, and even fat people are visual beings, and even fat people want someone that looks beautiful. They want a partner that looks fit. They would love to be fit themselves as well. That's no lie. But the matter of fact is, treat your body with respect. Eat in moderation. Eat healthy. And even if you do eat ultra processed foods because of your income, at least eat them in moderation, and exercise. And then people would treat you with respect in return. That's just how it works. People respect those who respect themselves. And respect is just reciprocity. I don't know if I pronounced that word rightly, but if you treat yourself with respect, people will see that, and then eventually they start treating you with that same respect. That's just how it works in our society. Um, and instead of begging for acceptance, play the game. That's way easier. It's way easier to play the game than to be like, woe is me, I am a victim, I am fat, and people need to accept me. No, it's just way easier to play the game and stay fit. That was it. I'm not trying to bash anyone, as I've mentioned on the disclaimer. You can come for me, that's fine. But these are my opinions at the end of the day. This is my platform, and I should be allowed to express my opinions freely. And yeah, lose the weight, make your life easier. That was it. Stay beautiful.